Today we're going to be talking about discipline and how it's so important to enter your productive era.
First time in a long time, hurting deeply inside.
Hey babes, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chelsea. If you're new here, I do lifestyle, beauty, fashion, self-care content. And so hopefully you guys like the vibes and you decide to subscribe. Today we're going to be talking about discipline and how it's so important to enter your productive era. Discipline is so important, especially when it comes to getting things done. That's something that I have definitely been realizing with having my own business. There's no one telling me to get up. Sometimes the motivation is not always there, and that's okay. I want to go ahead and get right to it. When it comes to this topic, we're gonna switch out motivation for discipline. Okay, instead of using the word motivation, we're just gonna say discipline, because motivation will only take you so far. Just being transparent, coming straight off a trip this week, I really have not been in the mood to do any work, but however, the discipline to show up and make sure that I'm still nurturing my platform is important to me. So sometimes we may lack the motivation. You may not feel like doing the work, you may not feel like showing up, you may not feel like going to the gym, and that's where you're gonna have to tap into that, your future self. How would my future self show up in this space and in that space? It's so important to tap into those things, because that's going to help you reach those goals, because we're not always going to feel motivated. You're not going to always feel like doing the thing that's hard. You're not going to always feel like doing the things that are challenging, especially when it's coming with a little bit of resistance. The thing is, with discipline, you don't have to do so many different things in order to be productive. I want us to change that narrative, because a lot of the times, I know even for myself, I felt like if I didn't get everything knocked off my list, I was not being productive. So the first tip that I would have to say is making sure that you are changing the way that you view discipline. So you don't always have to view it as this big thing. It could be discipline yourself to getting one thing done off of your list that you have to do for that day. Still an achievable and trackable goal that you've actually reached. You don't have to do this big gigantic thing in order to still be productive. So I want us to change that narrative and not focus so much on the big stuff, but just focus on the one thing that gets you to say, hey, you know, I actually showed up for myself in this space, and that's what I'm going to continue to lean into moving forward. Those buildable habits that I talked about in my 12 micro habits video is going to be the key. Like figuring out what you can start with and build on that, especially when you're lacking motivation. Certain points in your life, you may have to tap into that discipline side and say, hey, you know, I've been doing this for 28 days straight, and today is not going to be any different. Tip number 2, when it comes to discipline, I will also say focus on your future self. That has really been a big thing for me, is when I'm not feeling like doing the thing, or when I'm not feeling like doing something that I know will benefit me, I think about my future self. Like, would she still do this? Yes. Or how does she handle this situation, regardless of whatever challenges that she still has going on in her life? Let me tell y'all, I be having my challenges. However, I try to ask myself, how would my future self show up, and how can I show up as that? And follow her example. And if you don't have like this idea of your future self just yet, think about somebody that you really admire despite their challenges that they may show you. Or that could be somebody that you have, you know, tapped into online. Figure out what they do or what they have done, you know, to get to that next step. And even if you have to go back and look at their old videos and realize like, hey, this person actually put in the work to get to where they are, that's going to help you get that motivation back just a little bit. But it's also going to show you what discipline looks like. If you don't have that example for you in real time, you can actually, you know, find somebody that you really do like, or look up to on socials, some type of mentor to be exact. Really tap into that and figure out, what did they do, what steps did they take to get to where they are. That's definitely a key step when it comes to locking in and becoming disciplined. Tip number 3, get a routine for yourself. When you have a set routine, it will allow you to show up. You're going to make sure that you still show up and honor that promise that you made to yourself, and that's going to help you with your confidence, you guys. I feel like until I started telling myself, even with my YouTube journey, yes, sure enough, I did take a little week and a half break from YouTube, but even within just the last month, the discipline that it has taken me to film, record, edit has really set my mind on like being laser focused. And I feel like that is very important, especially when you have a big goal that you want to reach. Having that laser focus is going to be important, and having that routine. Because for me, I have always been a workout girly. I'm gonna work out in the morning whether I feel like it or not. But the old me would be like, hey, you know, I can just get this done tomorrow, or I can just do this, or continuing to put it off, and it weakens your confidence in yourself. And I didn't realize how much I was doing that to me, and I was weakening my own confidence because I wasn't showing up. Or being firm and resolute in your promises to yourself will definitely help when it comes to like building that confidence, because that's the whole thing. When it comes to us leveling up and being the best versions of ourselves, you have to believe in yourself and have confidence. And the only way that you're going to do it is if you start telling yourself that you're going to do something and actually do it. I also feel like that translates into the other portions of our life. Like when it comes to relationships with other people, you're not going to find too many people standing on business and doing the things that they said that they were going to do if you're not even doing it yourself. Like you look around at your friend group, everybody's canceling or always making other plans or never including you or whatever the case may be, but you don't even include yourself, or you don't show up for yourself in that way, you know. So you're attracting those type of people. That part really starts within, and it's clicking for me now more than ever. Because yes, I have mastered like going to the gym. That's not an issue for me. Like I can still show up regardless of what's going on. But when it came to like other parts of my life, because I didn't have anybody hovering over me telling me to get this done or get that done, I had become just a little bit too comfortable. And so now we're trying to build that momentum back, and I feel like that's what I'm doing. And that's just a portion of actually doing the things that I said I promised myself this whole entire time. So I highly recommend you guys honor your promises to yourself and set a solid routine, and that's going to help you when it comes to discipline. Tip number 4 when it comes to discipline, I would say write down your goals and be very vivid and talk about them as if they've already happened. Prior to moving to this apartment, I always wrote down in my journal, I'm so happy and grateful now to have a new apartment, a 2-bedroom, and I wrote down exactly what I wanted for myself. And I highly recommend you guys do that, because although it may take time, nobody said that technique would actually work overnight, but sometimes it just may, you know. But also writing down specifically what you want, how you want it, down to the color. So say for instance, if you want a new vehicle, write down the specific vehicle that you want and talk about it as if it's already happened. Or even talk about like your day driving your new car. Like that has been a big thing for me. I remember Jazz Turner would talk about that in her videos all the time, and ever since then I have not let it go. Like talk about the things that you want as if they've already happened, and I feel like that is such a big thing. Okay, don't talk about it as if like I hope that this happens. Hopes can run out. Sometimes you can face so many challenges in life and it's like I have no more hope. From hope to belief that it will happen will help boost that confidence too. It will help you feel like, okay, this is for me, whether it happens tomorrow or it happens next year or 3 years from now, 4 years from now, I know that it's going to happen. So whatever you want out of life, write it down and script it as if it's already happened, and do a day in the life of a girl, you know, doing what she's doing or driving what she's driving or having the career or the house or the family. Whatever you want, actually write it down so that you can see that, okay, this is possible for me. It's in my journal, you know, it's in my journal, it's possible for me. And that will kind of help expand your mind to other possibilities as well. Tip number 5 for me would have to be break down those big goals. Write down how you're going to achieve them. Okay, we're going to talk about how the steps that we're going to take to achieve them. In a previous video I told you guys about how I plan out my month or plan out my, you know, few weeks. I don't like to do like months and months at a time. I don't know what tomorrow may hold, you know, so I cannot predict 6 months from now. But what I can do is kind of write down maybe 2 to 3 months at a time to figure out, okay, this is the goal that I have for this month and this is how I'm going to achieve it. Even for the month of May, I had a certain goal on YouTube that I wanted to do. Then I had a certain goal just like with other life things, and actually writing it down and checking it off the list is definitely going to help. So if you have to do a month at a time, if doing it 3 months in advance is too much for you, focus on every single month. What can I do to reach that big goal that I have? Because it's easy to get overwhelmed, especially when you're on this disciplined journey or productive journey. It's like, I'm overwhelmed. I have so many things to do or so many things. Where do I even start? Start at the small things and focus on like even like your Pinterest boards and curating them to your life and your future self. That's definitely going to help you be disciplined and just be more productive. That definitely will help you guys, because that's been helping me as well. Highly recommend you guys take that tip. And also, if you guys have any tips while you're watching this video, feel free to drop them them down below because I would love to talk about them, chat, and expand on some of the things that you guys have been incorporating to master discipline in your life. Tip number 6 for me would definitely have to be embracing challenges. The thing is, I'm so happy I don't look like what I've been going through, okay? That comes with self-care, self-love, self-development. But when I tell you, I have been through a lot. And at some point in my journey, I will talk about it, and I actually will share different challenges that I have went through. But just know, embracing the challenges is gonna be a key thing when it comes to discipline, because if you run away from challenges, now you're like, okay, I'm not hitting those goals, I'm not doing the things that I said I was gonna do because this is too hard. Or, oh, when you get your first no, like, okay, well, that just means it's not for me. No, that's not the case. That just means it's another door, because if one door closes, another one is bound to open that has your name on it. But you have to keep knocking. If you don't continue to knock and be persistent, and just based off that one no, you just say, okay, I'm just gonna give up, then what? You're still in the same position that you were in prior to you applying for whatever you were applying for, or trying whatever you wanted to try. You're still going to be in the same position. So regardless, it would make sense to just keep trying and just continue to show up. And one thing about showing up, eventually a door will open. And that's something I try to always remember for myself, is that if I continue to be persistent, eventually it will happen. Eventually I will get to where I want to be, and that's just what it is. That's something that helps me when it comes to like just having confidence. And again, goes back to, I think, tip number 2 about having confidence. It just helps. It helps you build that confidence. Like, okay, I know if anything, I got my back, and I know that God got me, and I know that, you know, eventually one of these doors are going to open. So being more open to that resistance, it will help the no's not hit so hard, because sometimes the no is like real harsh and you're just like, oh my gosh, no, like, but just look at it as like, not right now, or this particular thing is just not for you right now. Even if you want it so bad, what's for you will always find you. Number 7 would definitely have to be change the way you view your responsibilities. And I feel like that's a major thing. Don't say, oh, I have to do this. Say, I get to do this. Because there's so many people that would pray to be in your position or to have the opportunities that you have. So looking at things as, this is an opportunity for me versus like, this is a job for me. And that's something that I'm personally trying to work on, is making sure I keep in my mind that I get to do this. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. We'll never get this chance again. So if anything, I get to make content. I get to do these things, versus like, oh, I have to do this. I have to make a video. I have to, you know, just being so down about certain things. Being happy and excited will bring more opportunities your way. And it will also help you with the discipline part, because it's like, okay, that motivation isn't there, but guess what? I still get to do what I love to do on a daily basis. Whatever that may be. Even if that's working out, I get to work out. I get to move my body around. My body functions properly. I feel amazing. I get to do those things. So looking at it that way will definitely help you with discipline. I think we're on tip number 9 or tip number 10. I'm just gonna say tip number 10. My final tip would have to be acknowledge your achievements, okay? And I know that's like, what? Discipline? Acknowledging my achievements? Yes, give yourself that acknowledgement, especially if you don't have a lot of people in your corner rooting for you or clapping for you every time you do something. A lot of us do not have that, because we all have our own lives. We all have different things going on. But acknowledge your accomplishment. So once you do all of those steps, once you stick to the plan, or actually dedicate the time to write out, you know, a letter to your future self when you're driving your new car, or if you're living in your new home, or whatever the case may be, once you reach that achievement, give yourself that acknowledgement, because if you don't acknowledge your achievements along the way, eventually you're going to reach a burnout, or you may feel like, hey, I'm still not doing enough. So as you're going on, even giving yourself an incentive, if you do something, reward yourself with something else. You know, that can help you with your discipline journey as well. So say, for instance, if you did all of your duties or all of the tasks that you have on your list for that day, maybe reward yourself with something that you enjoy, whether that's a podcast, a book, whether that's like getting your nails and toes done, doing something for yourself to say, hey self, like, you actually did what you were supposed to do, so let's reward you for that. That's going to help you keep yourself, you know, keep yourself going and keep yourself empowered along this journey, because really discipline is just going to empower you to do bigger and better things. I also want to touch on this as well when it comes to discipline, giving yourself discipline affirmations. I found this prompt on Pinterest, and it is your discipline affirmations. I'm going to read them off to you, and you let me know what will be your favorite one, or if you'll be incorporating all of them. But these are some of the affirmations that I have been using, so let's talk about them. I will also link this down below so that you guys can have it, just in case you're interested or want to start using it. First one is, I know that being consistent helps me succeed. Affirmation number 2, I follow through on my commitments and show up. Number 3, I take small steps each day toward my goals. Number 4, people can count on me because I am reliable. Number 5, doing things regularly helps me achieve my dreams. 6, even though it's tough, I stay focused and keep going. Number 7, achievements motivate me to keep going and do better. Number 8, I am motivated to be the best version of myself. Number 9, making a positive impact in the world motivates me. Number 10, I can stay focused on my goals no matter what. 11, I can resist distractions and stay on track. Number 12, I can bounce back from setbacks and stay strong. I feel like this was amazing. Just like I have been incorporating these in my affirmations, I feel like you guys should do the same, because those are definitely tone and they help you like retrain your mind on how you view discipline. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have any other tips that you would like to share, please don't forget to drop them in the comment section, because the girls always want to know. We want to know different tips that we can use and utilize to be our best self. And that's the type of community that I want to grow and develop here. So feel free to comment below and let us know how you've been feeling, or let us know some of the things that you have been incorporating in your routine so that you can stay disciplined even when you're not motivated. I love you guys so much. As usual, I will see you in my next video. Bye.
First time in a long time.